we got to talk about the big story of the week, which is that it looks like Microsoft is going to be bringing its beloved franchises to PlayStation and elsewhere.
I don't know.
You don't think that's what the announcement's going to be?
No, I don't. Here's what, you know what? I thought long and hard about this.
Really? I didn't.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but this is what what I came to in my contemplation on this situation.
Yeah.
It does not affect my life in any way at all. Whatever decision they do and whatever it is they do.
Well, that's for sure.
So whatever. Is that fair?
I mean, sure, but there's a lot of people who they have a very strong emotional relationship with their Xbox.
They're literally 100% wrong. Anyone who acts like this is like important to their lives, unless it is like their actual jobs and it affects how they feed their family.
Right.
If Halo on PlayStation 5 doesn't affect how you feed your family, then you have nothing to complain about.
But if it helps me feed my family,
then you should be celebrating this, right?
You know what?
Know. We'll see.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me.
No, you're right.
You're
You're not wrong. For sure.
Wrong.
For us, it doesn't matter. But it's little like it's kind of weird that they just spent all this money. Well, I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, maybe they feel like this is the way that they're going to make their money back. They
spent all this money that they did not make back. They got to find a way to get people to care about Halo again, because no one on the Xbox does. Which again, anyone who's complaining that their exclusives are going away, the only person they need to point their finger at is probably themselves. Play more Halo. Stop playing Fortnite. Play Halo. But no one wants to do that because Fortnite's a better game.
Because they didn't make a battle royale mode.
I don't know if Fortnite's a better game than Halo.
Yeah. No, come on. The latest Halo is fucking. That was a weak effort.
Well, it's not supported well like Fortnite is.
Yeah.
Like the actual shooting in Halo is better than what's in Fortnite.
Well, yeah, but like they've made 70 billion of them over so many years. Okay, I may have exaggerated the number a little bit, but they do have the shooting down. But it's like
I don't. The part of this
it's not
interesting
enough.
Is like what does this do to like the Xbox ecosystem of like we have all these games that we own, right? Like that's the worrisome part of any of this is like okay, we have all these games that we built this library up of on digital, right? Like we have all these
your digital games. Well, that's just it, is that Microsoft needs to still own its ecosystem, I think would be, the important thing for them is, the idea of Game Pass and the digital ecosystem.
And Game Pass and the digital ecosystem are two different things.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, are you guys assuming that there's not going to be any more Xbox consoles? Because I don't know why.
I'm not assuming that, but it definitely begs a question of like how invested are they going to be in a hardware business?
I guess the question is, are they
getting all their sales off of Game Pass? Like they're not going to have that store is not going to exist on PlayStation, right? Like where I own all my content. It's not going to be on PlayStation. It's not going to be on Nintendo.
You don't think Game Pass could be there?
Game Pass could, but that's different than
right. I understand the digital content that you've bought.
The digital content part is
and there's no guarantee that it'll be day one stuff on the PlayStation the way it'll be day one on the Xbox, which I could also see being a thing. I could see them definitely in the next console cycle getting rid of disk drives altogether and going a pure digital.
Sure.
Going pure digital.
Sure.
I could see that being a thing.
I don't see them getting out of the console. I don't see them getting out of the console.
No,
business.
I don't know. Are they making a profit on their consoles currently? Do we know?
Well, people have to buy them.
Well,
people have to buy them. Yes.
I don't know
but how many do people have to buy? I own one. I own one.
Two.
Yeah. I also own two.
Can you buy a few more? Like 5,000 more?
And it's the other little things like controllers.
Tell your friends.
They like controllers. Xbox is not shy about putting out controllers.
Controllers and headsets and that kind of bullshit.
I think there's value to the Microsoft brand to have the Xbox brand, and to sell the Xbox hardware in stores is space in a store that has Microsoft's branding, squared off.
But
there's value to that.
There's value to it.
There's that much value.
Are you confident that they're going to make a console that's competitive with a PlayStation?
Well, that's the problem, and that's why they're not selling as many PlayStation, because people are not confident.
So are you going to spend all that money to develop a console that's actually competitive with PlayStation? Because right now
they're going digital streaming console.
Right now, like
not streaming. I don't think they would ever do streaming.
It's neck and neck, like hardware wise, right? Like if you look at what a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox, like they're basically spitting out the same stuff. I'm sure
more or less. Yeah.
There's instances of like
outliers. Games. Sure.
Yeah, but like if they are trying to compete on the hardware level,
it's hard.
Like it's hard to justify buying that hardware, and then all of your digital purchases are kind of in limbo that you've accumulated, which has been their strength, right? Is like, hey, all your stuff going back to Xbox as much as we can, like the original Xbox, we've made it backwards compatible.
Yeah, I think I think continuing that is a smart idea. I think it keeps people in their ecosystem. It gets people to keep subscribing to Game Pass. It keeps people buying their Xbox controllers. And it just keeps people on that Xbox console, which I think is great. I think if Microsoft is going to start bringing their exclusives to PlayStation, I think it would be great if there was some quid pro quo in that. Maybe there's a PlayStation exclusive that comes to Xbox. I don't know what
MLB The Show.
But again, there is precedence for it. So but could
they forced to do that though? Because it was something to do with like
the
MLB
Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I think, but if you told me that, Microsoft is bringing Halo to the PlayStation, and then 6 months from now we find out that, I don't know, Horizon is coming to the Xbox.
Why would Sony do that?
I would be surprised.
Because why not? Because there's money to be made
Mario
there.
On Xbox too. Sounds great. Let's do it.
Because I don't think Horizon's as big a game as God of War, and I think it would breathe some life into a franchise that I don't think people really they
would rather not sell. I don't know. They don't want Microsoft to make money off of their games, even like the whatever percentage.
They came to PC. I think that's as far as
they
go.
That seems.
I don't know.
That was pretty. Bold. I thought
if it could go one way, it could definitely go two ways. That's all I'm saying. And I would,
Yeah.
I don't think it would be God of War.
Leader, though, I don't think it would be the other guy.
Why Microsoft is doing? Why would Microsoft do it then? For your same argument,
because they're trying to. That's been their position for quite a while of like trying to get their Game Pass and everything and their things on other consoles. Like they've tried this for a while, just not to this potential extent that they're getting ready to go down, right? Like they've been the like, hey, we're the friendly company that wants to play with everybody, because guess what? We're the third place company that wants part. Like, yes, right. Would they like to have stuff on the Nintendo console? Of course. Like, would they like to have stuff on the PlayStation? Of course. But does Nintendo and Sony want to have stuff on the Xbox? They don't care.
Well, that's just it. You're saying they don't care.
They don't. If they cared, you think if Nintendo came and said like, hey, we want to put Zelda on Xbox, Microsoft, are you okay, right?
No, no one's going to say it. Of course, that's not going to happen. I'm saying, do you think as part of this negotiation, if we bring Halo to your PlayStation console, we're going to bring Halo.
Sony doesn't care.
Why do you think it's a negotiation?
It's definitely a negotiation.
But Sony has all the leverage and power, so it's not much of a negotiation. It's a negotiation from.
I think. I mean, you tell me Starfield is going to PlayStation. I don't think Xbox has any room to negotiate. If you're saying that they're bringing Halo to PlayStation, I think there's room to negotiate, unless you think Halo really doesn't have any value outside of. Is that what we're? I
think Halo lost a lot of its appeal over the last few years, for sure.
Because what you guys are saying is that Halo has no value.
No, there's
got value, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't change the bar at all for Sony.
Right, it's not helping them.
It has value as an Xbox exclusive, but it doesn't.
But it's not going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Well, you don't know that,
right?
Well, we don't know that.
Right now, it's they're talking about Hi-Fi Rush and
Hi-Fi Rush and Starfield. You want to bring those to PlayStation? That makes perfect sense to me,
right? Like that.
Whatever.
We're not talking about bringing Forza.
Those are garbage games.
The PlayStation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Starfield, they spent a lot of money to get that game, and
and
I don't think it lived up to expectations.
No, that game is not very good. So
nobody's talking about that game anymore.
No one's talking. That's what I'm saying. I don't think anyone's talking about Horizon anymore either. And you guys looked at me like I had 17 heads.
But it's not going to move the needle on Xbox either, though. Like Horizon,
I think it would move the needle in the way that it would be good press and it would sell some copies.
Xbox has Recore; they're doing fine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Fine.
I don't think saying Horizon is some crazy thing. I didn't say God of War. I didn't say Spider-Man. I didn't even say Ratchet and Clank. I said Horizon, which is as games go, fine. That's how I would describe that game. That game is just fine.
All right.
Yeah.
That's enough show. Too much. No, you're not going to get it.
You dinosaur for next week when we actually know what the news is.
Yes. We did enough speculation, I feel.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like we already established, it does not matter.
Right. It's interesting though.
It is interesting and it's fun to talk about.
Yes,
but
we'll all be fine.
Happens,
we'll all be
fine.
We'll all be fine.
Be fine.
And I still believe that if they just made that Halo Battle Royale, we wouldn't be in this position.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. I still don't agree. What they should have done is made a deal with Fortnite to put Halo mode in Fortnite, and then it would be
put Fortnite in Halo.
Something.
Get RoboCop in there.
Nashville also saw Master Chief in Fortnite, and then wanted to play Halo.
Yeah,
that's a really weird game that. It's got all these things to just remind him that he wants to play other games rather than Fortnite.
Third-person shooter is not as good as first-person shooter, in my opinion. Maybe Dashes too.
I like third-person shooter.
I think you're probably right.
I like third-person better.
Sure. All right, that's enough show. That's a lot of show. Too much show, maybe. We don't have time for any of these other items.
Man, I got to get up early tomorrow. It's late. Okay.
Fuck. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week to talk about all this big Xbox, PlayStation thing. What day of week is that? Do we know? It says...
Did they say a date?
No, next week.
Next week. Official date next week once we figure it all out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Look, I'm sure Microsoft wants to make money. They're going to do whatever they announce. It's whatever they think is going to make them the most money. We can all agree on. Because that's what they do.